10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock, we're gonna rock.
So, last but not least, we got Larry Tremaine here, part of the Pirate Day at the International Radio Festival. Incredible show, larger than life, absolutely amazing. Thank you very much that you took time out of your Europe tour, I think. You're doing a Europe tour, aren't you?
I'm doing a European tour now, and I have a few other occasions that we're doing it for, but this was a stop in Switzerland. This was the big event to make sure the International Radio Festival was larger than life so that next year it makes a spot on the map that people can see.
Well, we're hoping it's making a spot on the map as we speak since you've been on air, Larry.
Thank you.
Yeah?
I would tell you that I've truly enjoyed it. All the guys got together, and we really have had a spectacular time this week. I mean, it's you know, guys getting together, haven't seen each other for 40 years, all having fun with each other, laughing and joking, all of us telling stories that the other one doesn't remember. So this one says, you clammed to the top of the mast. He says, no, you didn't. I did. And I said, I was the one that went swimming off the ship. And the other guy says, no, I went swimming. You stayed on the deck. So it's been a lot of stories. And the owner of Radio North Sea International came down here to listen to the broadcast. And that's really something. He had all the DJs over his penthouse yesterday for lunch, and it was truly a spectacular event here in Zurich.
You make me feel real loose, like a long-necked goose, like a girl. Oh, baby, that's what I like!
All right, we're going to rock the big tick-tock till 6 o'clock tonight, and then we go into the hall to listen to Emperor Roscoe doing his wild show, 2 Americans in a row. What more can you ask for? You can ask for Runaway! When I got over to Europe, we actually came over to Europe on a honeymoon, didn't come over to be on radio. And I started a company in England, and these guys got in touch with me, and they said, we need good management, we need a partner, we need somebody we can work with. And I didn't have the same fight for free radio that these guys who had been without free radio for so many years. They had the BBC, and they've had radio, didn't even have Radio 1. So they were still fighting for a cause. In 1970, when we changed the election, that was a really great thing that we did for radio in Europe. The Prime Minister...
Which election? You have to explain which election and what country.
June 18th, 1970, the only radio station that they allowed, well, there were a couple of little stations, but Radio 1. They established Radio 1 in 1967 when they took the pirates away, and all the pirates went to Radio 1. But then it became like a normal thing. So in 1970... The government said we were against the radio stations. The new prime minister who said he wanted to be prime minister, he said, if I get elected, I will allow private citizens to own radio stations for the first time in British history. And he won. And he won in the last 10 days of the election.
And he is?
He is Edward Heath.
Edward Heath.
Edward Heath became prime minister for a very short period of time, by the way.
Come on, baby, and rescue me.
I think what's going on with the International Radio Festival is absolutely spectacular. I think in America we have the National Association of Broadcasters, the NAB, and we bring radio stations together from mainly Canada and North America, and they discuss ideas, they discuss what's going on, they discuss commercialization, how many commercials to play within an hour, what content and things like that, and they get good ideas. I think what you're doing with an International Radio Festival, when I heard about it, I said, boy, if they're on the right track and they're bringing stations from around the world to discuss and help create ideas, that young people know that there is a forum for them not to be DJs in a nightclub, because DJs in a nightclub are very good, but they're not personality radio. When you're personality radio...
And no responsibility.
That's right. You have to learn how to entertain people. I was sitting out here entertaining the people walking by. They were coming in, they were dancing, they were waving their hands. That's what it's all about. It's all about entertaining. The reason that people like Tony Blackburn, he's like the top. I mean, he's been doing it for 45, 50 years, and he's been doing it successfully. And why? Because he's just a natural talent. So the other guys are all good. Mark Wesley's good. Emperor Roscoe's good. They're all good. But when you see some broadcasters that raise the bar, that's what I try and do. You notice two things. A, I dressed for the show.
We saw that.
I didn't just come out here in shorts and say I'm doing a radio show because no one's going to see me. I wanted everybody to see me. And the second thing is, I stood up during the entire show because that was one thing on Radio Caroline. They said, you're standing up to do your show. We sit down. I said, no, man, you got the energy. You got it. You got to get up there. You got to dance. You got to party because you're part of the audience. You're trying to show that audience what's going on. So we're trying to give that message. Got 4 days left. I know they're all going to be very successful, and I thank you for being such a really super guy to put on. Somebody has to do it. You guys are doing it. I mean, you know, people can talk about it. You're doing it. You're making it happen.
We're doing it.
You're doing it, and we're doing it together, and I loved every second of it. And I told them when I was at the end of my 2 hours, I wanted to buy 2 more hours.
We'll see what we can do later on, yeah?
Well,
hey, Larry,
very much.
absolute big bear hug here.
Oh, yes.
Larry Tremaine.
The heater with the heater, the boss of the hot sauce.
Larger than life.
Papadita.